Hey guys, hello everybody who's watching right now. We already have 5 viewers, so thank you everybody for tuning in. So Adrian was just checking how sync YouTube and Twitch are regarding a delay. YouTube is 4 seconds behind. Okay, that's interesting. So Twitch is a little bit faster here. Maybe they're not as secured as YouTube. Okay, thanks for checking this. Because yeah, last time I noticed we have about 15 seconds of a delay from what I do and the time that you see it. So yeah, it's good that we notice now. So thank you, Adrian. Yeah, again, welcome to this now third stream of mine regarding my refactoring PHP application. So if you're new and haven't seen one of the last streams, I'm currently trying to build a little platform where people can submit some code snippets and then others can submit like refactored version of those snippets. So and it will be like a platform where you see a lot of code snippets and how other developers would refactor them, and also what was their intention of the refactoring. Did they want to make it easier, simpler, better, maintainable, more abstract? So a lot of different targets that you can have when you do refactoring. And I think it's a good idea to bring examples together and see how other people would write the same code. So I find this really interesting, and that's what I'm trying to build here. So in the last streams, we're checking off a few things of our list. So a visitor can see stored examples, a visitor can see stored solutions, for example. So we have those snippets, code snippets and examples, and then the solutions, how to. Yeah, maybe I should rename this. So it's not a solution, it's just a different version of the code. So my intention is not to say that one example is better than the other. So solution is definitely not the best option here. So I'm just writing this down here on my list. Change solution. Or maybe it's okay because it's just a different solution to the one. Yeah, I think I don't mind right now. I'll keep it like that. And if it pops up in my head again, then maybe it's something that I want to change. Then an authenticated user can submit a code example. So this means you need to register that you can submit an example. You need to register and be logged in, submit code solutions. Okay, so this was the bunch from last time. And yeah, until now we haven't been checking out the UI. Actually, we're just writing some tests. And let's see if they're still all passing. Yeah, you see the skip tests. These are from Jetstream of Laravel. So I think there was an option to exclude them. So I'm not sure if I want to have them, especially in the same folder as all those other feature tests. So you can see here's now a long list of tests, but we'll keep it for now. Oh, that's a good point. You can see my screen. Yeah, thanks, Freak, for mentioning that. So it's always funny when you see the other people while they're doing stream and making some mistakes, and you think, oh my God, it's just a stupid mistake. Like a mic that is still muted, and you think, yeah, this will never happen to me. But yeah, it does. So here we go. That's the wrong one. Yeah, so, okay, so the last minutes that we're talking about this list here, which you have not seen. I'm sorry for that. Thank you for mentioning Freek. Also, hello, Adele here. Nice to have you here too. And yeah, I was just referring to this list here and what to do next. And one thing I have on my list for today is just manually testing, because we have those tests here, which are all passing, but we haven't looking at the web page yet. So what does it look like, and does everything work there the same? So yeah, here we have it. So this is the page, refactoring PHP, and as you can see, it's totally empty. So yeah, I think it's time to test it from this side as well. So what I want to do now is I want to create some dummy data so that we can see finally those things here on the UI that we were adding in the last streams. So let's start by making a new seeder. I have already one dummy data. Yeah, so that's what I often do for websites where I just need some dummy data to test the UI. Because sometimes you have data that you want in your database, like maybe permissions, any kind of roles and that stuff. And then you need seeders that you want to persist in a database and that should stay there. But often I have applications where the data comes from the users, like the code examples, the solution, they are coming from the user. And this way, I also need some data, but then I don't want to create like for every table a specific seeder. I often just create one called dummy seeder, and then I create all the data that I need for show things that I need in this seeder. So let's create this one here, and let's go to the database seeder class. Here we have it, and here now we want to call this one. So call dummy data seeder. Okay, and again, I'm already hearing the fan of my laptop, so it could get a little bit slow in between, so I'm sorry for that. This could be about the internet connection, but also could be about my laptop. But I received a notification of Apple yesterday, so it seems my new laptop is coming a little bit earlier than expected. So I think I might have it already next week. So this was really cool, because I also wanted to edit some music streams, because I find it a little bit more enjoying. But I can't open up any new applications while I'm doing those streams, because my computer is like a skyrocket. Okay, so now we have the dummy seeder. Let's go into this class and let's think about what we need. So we have our code snippets. And let's use the factory again to create a few of them. So let's say we want 3 of them. And then we also need code solutions. So let's just try to do this with the Laravel factory features as well. So we have this has method here, and it has code snippet solution as the name of the class. I think, so that's what I have done in my Laravel factory package, where you could provide the class. But I think with Laravel, you need to provide the factory. And I think I can also define the count method here. So let's say we want 2 solutions, or let's say 3 for all the snippets that we have. Okay, let's just try this out. Let's see if it works. Lastly, I was running into this. I just forget the shortcut. Let me check again. There's one shortcut in PHP Storm for the run anything prompt. Here we have it. Okay, I haven't defined one yet. So let's do this right away. Have this for unsplit. Oh, what about this one? Find action. This one is fine. Okay, I'll take this one. So with this run anything feature in PHP Storm, I can run some comments right from this little prompt here with a shortcut. So what I would do now is add the seed. And okay, why is it not working? Let me try again. Maybe my shortcut is not working here. Okay, maybe it should work like this with artisan. Okay, this is how it works. Okay, nice. So we should have now some data. So I have already set up Invoker here. Let's refresh our models and let's see what we got. And by the way, yes, you can always write some comments and I'll try to address your questions as well. So Adrian was asking if the power save mode in PHP Storm could help me. Actually, I don't know. Maybe I should try this out, but I don't want to try it out right now, but good idea. And then also Frick said, then you also lose code completion. Okay. Yeah, so this would be a downside to that. Okay, so do we have some data here? Nope. Probably I forgot to, yeah. I forgot to create our data as well. And since I might run this a few times, I want to truncate the tables as well every time. So this means code snippet, truncate. Okay, Adele, since you're here, maybe you can see if we can add this to Laravel IDE. I think this method should work like this. I think just truncate. And let's try this out with the code snippet solution as well. Truncate. Okay, let me see if I have remembered my shortcut for run anything. Yeah. And I have my last comment here, so that's good. And this is the one that I need. Okay, maybe it's not working like this. Okay, let me see. Yeah, okay. That's interesting. So this might be because of what's called again the exception handler of Laravel, the new one by you, Freak. I'm not sure, it's not Flare, it's the other thing, ignition, yeah. So I have a relationship defined for my class, which is called solution. So this means it's different from what the table name is called. And now I think it's because of ignition. I think it must be. They're already providing me the solution here. So I need to add here as a second argument the method name of my relationship, and that's called solution. Okay, let's try again. Here we go. Nope. Let me see what's wrong now. Okay. This is now a different error. So this means we don't have a default value for content for our code snippet solutions. Okay, fair enough. Let's check this out. Yeah, here's our factory. Nope, that's not the factory. Code solution factory. Here we go. And yeah, we have a content field for our solution, and we don't have any content defined, and this is why we see the error. So let's pass in here our dummy code snippet, which is just a simple one. And let's try it again. See if we can see our class now. Okay, this looks now much better. And now inside Invoker, I should see some data. So it's the second time now that I'm using Invoker, so I'm not yet familiar with all those features. But yeah, from what I see, I really like the look of it. It's pretty nice. Okay, we have, 3 code snippets, and we also have solutions. So I think we should have 9, yeah. Okay, that's good. Okay, Adele was asking in the meantime, have you generated eloquent helper code? No, I haven't. Do you mean, I think this is one that you're your plugin can do by default. Can I do this here? Let me just see. Oh yeah, I think it's that one. Let me try this. And yeah, nice picture, by the way, Adele. I love the hat. So fetch data from migrations. I think this is fine. Yeah, migrations, model helper, okay. This will be the helper file. Okay, so this is probably similar to what the IDE Laravel helper package did before. And I'm not sure, Adele, I think you already have your own solution, or you're still using the other package. I'm not sure. But let's see what we have here. Create collection proxy helper classes. Collection proxy. Okay, remove PHP doc from model classes. Okay, I'll just leave it like that. Let's give this a try. Let me just hide your comment here. So it's analyzing migrations. And yeah, by the way, if you don't know what we're doing here, I'm using the Laravel idea PHP Storm plugin, which is by Adele, which is also here. And it provides a lot of features and auto completion. And right now I was wondering why the truncate method wasn't shown in my options. So let's get back here. Okay, this looks better now. Let's try class like the user. Truncate. Here we go. You're my man, Adele. Thanks a lot. So if you haven't checked out his plugin, do this. Straight to you. Laravel idea. And yeah, here's the official website. Check this out if you haven't yet. It's worth every cent. It's really amazing. Thank you for that. Okay, yeah, now that we have some data, let's check our site again. Okay, yeah, now my fan is really going crazy, so it's really slow. And yeah, I can't wait getting the new MacBook. Okay, so we have our code snippets. So this is the main page, and we have also created some detail pages for code snippets. I think something. Yes. Yeah, so what do we see now? Here we see it. Okay, yeah, here's the code snippet, and here are the provided solutions. So yeah, that's always interesting because yeah, we have written so far only tests to make this available, and it's working. But of course, it's always a little bit different when you want to also test it in the browser. Okay, so that's working. But one thing which I have seen already from here, we don't have any links yet to the detail page. So what I'd like to do is create a test to make sure that we also have those links. So if we check our tests again, we have one for page home test. Yeah, this one. And let's get rid of this here. Yeah. And let's see what we have here. Yeah, it returns a successful status code and it shows given code snippets. Okay, so I'd like to add another test here. So we call it, it shows links for detail pages. Okay, what do we need? We need a code snippet. Let's copy this one here. Then we want to visit our home site. And next, we want to make sure that we see the link to our code snippet. So let's save this to a variable, code snippet. Here we go. And we want to make sure we see something. Yeah, I forgot to save this in a response. Here we go. And now we want to make sure we see our link, and let's just call the route helper. And I think it was called something with show, code snippet show. Yeah. And here we also need to provide the snippet. This will be the slash and the ID of the code snippet. So code snippet /1 to whatever. So, okay. Some typo in here. Yeah, here we go. Okay, let's run this test. It should fail now because we haven't defined any links so far. Yeah, so failed asserting. Inside our page, we are now looking for this here. And this is not given. So let's go to our homepage. So this means we now need a link here. Yeah, so let's add a link around our code snippet name, for example. So again, we're using our route helper method. Code snippet show, again, another auto completion because of Laravel idea. And we provide our code snippet. And like I've learned the last time, it doesn't matter if you provide here the whole model. You can provide the ID, and you can provide just the ID itself. So all of these solutions work. So thank you for helping me with that the last time. I think it was Adrian. Not sure. Okay, here we go. Let's go back to our test. Rerun it. And it's working now. Okay, this means we should now see here some links, and we can now get to our specific code snippets. Okay, that's nice. So we also wrote some tests so to make sure that you can provide some code snippets, so you can insert them through a Livewire component, and you can also add solutions. But yeah, right now we don't have anything to register. We don't have anything to log in. So this means we have some work to do. So let me think about that. So actually, I want to make sure that you can log in or register on the homepage. Yeah, so what I think I'm going to do is right now another test to make sure that I see those links. Of course, this is now a little bit tricky because these are some links that might be not only on the homepage, maybe on different pages as well. And do you then want to every different page for the login link? Is it available or log out if you logged in, for example? So this is where, it could get a little bit tricky or ugly because you don't want to write tests for every page. But currently on my homepage, I just want to make sure that I have register link to begin with. So that's why I'm going to do this. Okay, we're still on our homepage. Try the test. It shows the register link. Do I need to prepare anything? I don't know. Just want to get to the home page. And let's just keep this simple and change this here. And I want to assert that I see a specific route for the login. So this is now something that is defined through ChatStream and not me. Oh, yeah, it's getting pretty slow here. Everything. Yeah, maybe start with my next stream till I have my new laptop. This is probably also annoying for you. Okay, we shouldn't see it yet. Hey, Getjen, welcome you here too. Adrian says authentication is boring. Yeah, but still important. I am sorry. So yeah, we don't have this yet. So let's make sure we have one. Let's get back to our layout file. And I'm just adding here a navigation. And let's maybe do UL with, let's say, 2 points here, 2 items. And one would be the login link. Let's add this as well here. Login. And now let's do the same for register. Here we go. Register. Okay. Let's see if this test is passing now. Yeah, it does. And let's also create another one now for the login link because we have already added that. It shows the login link. So let's refresh our page. Here we can now log in and it should redirect us to ChatStream login. Yeah, here we go. And register should work too. Okay. I have some shortcut snippet which is not working in a different browser. Okay, that's strange, but it doesn't mind. And a fancy password. I don't want to save it. Okay, here we are. So this means when we're logged in, we get to a dashboard. But actually, we don't have a dashboard. So I don't think of a usage for a dashboard right now. So what I want to do is, if you are logged in, you get redirected back to the home page here. Because you log in and then on the home page, I might provide a link that you can create a new snippet, something like that. Let's also make sure that we get redirected. Or let's just see where we get to the dashboard. Well, that's not what I wanted to do. Okay, let me see. So since we're now using ChatStream, actually, I don't know where you provide the redirect link for ChatStream. So is there a specific controller for that? Let me just check this up. Or maybe you know this. How can I change where I get redirected from a ChatStream login? I will Google. Let's see who is faster. Laravel stream redirect after login. Based on role, it's not what I need, but I think I should still find it somewhere. Okay. Maybe let's just check. I think there's a LiveStream service provider where we have some features. Let's see what we have here. Configure permission. Nope. So what's a file called where I see all the chat stream features? Maybe it was the 45 service provider. 45 service provider. Also not what I'm looking for. No. So currently moving my side project, blah, blah, blah. Seems there is an article about this. Okay, is this true? Do I have to create a new response? Let me just scan this. This represents departure from controller with traits. Suppose we need to redirect the user as they are logging in based on some user attribute with 45. Do I really have to create a new response? I don't want to. Let me see if I can find where the dashboard is defined. Maybe this helps me. So is this my main route service provider? I think so. So I think this. Do I run into any errors if I change this to home? Let's just try it out. I redirect you after login. Okay, so we don't have a logout button yet. So let me just delete this session. So I'm normally using the Brave browser, but since I have you guys here on my second screen in Chrome, I'm using a different browser now that it's easy to switch between those. So I think this could be probably in storage, any cookies. And also this. Okay, let's register again. Okay, let's refresh the page. Okay, here we go. Yep. Test, that's our email. Let's create a different user because this one we already created. Or actually, I can just try to log in. So maybe let's just do this. If I remember my password, let me see. Okay, this seemed to work. Let's just check if our tests are still passing. It could be that there's also a test inside ChatStream to make sure where you get redirected, but I think this is not the case. Okay, good. So This means this is now working. Again, as always, if you have any questions, any solutions, if you have any feedback, just write it in the comments and I'll try to get to you as soon as I see them. So let's get back to our browser. So this means we are now logged in. So this means now I don't want to see log in or register. So let's also make sure that's the case. For the test. All right, so we want to make sure that you don't see the login link for authenticated users. So it does not show for authenticated users. So this means we need a user here, or at least a user factory. So need the user model. Yes, so here we go. And the factory class, and then to create one of them. And by the way, okay, yeah, we need the user now. Because I need to pass the user in here, acting as a specific user. I want to make sure that we don't see login route. Here we go. It's fading. Okay, that's good. Let's make sure in our layout file. So if we are authenticated, we want to see those two links. Sorry, if you are a guest, we want to see those links here. Okay, and let's also copy this one for the link. And this should already pass, because we already made sure of that. Yep. Okay, now they're gone. Okay, so the next thing what I want to check is, so we have our snippets. Here is the overview, and here we have our detailed view of the snippet with the snippet itself and the solution. And we also made sure, Adrian says I still have end of. What do you mean by that? Ah, okay, right. Interestingly, it was still working. Did end guest then? So, good catch. Thank you for that. So the next thing that I want to tackle is we are already logged in, and we made sure through our test that we can add solutions to a snippet if we are logged in. But as you can see, there is nothing that we can input. So it's the reason because, yeah, we have made a test for our Livewire component. So let's go to this test here. Get away. So yeah. So name field is required, content field is required. it stores code snippet to the database. So we have already made sure that we can store a code snippet to the database, like setting the name and the content, and then call submit. But of course, this it doesn't get us anywhere, because let me just check. Do we also have another one for code snippet solutions? I thought we already created that. Okay, that's interesting. Okay, but let's don't care now. But we have now our Livewire component. Okay, we already have 2 of them. That's the one that we created the last time. So we have here our Livewire component, where we're going to submit our code snippet, and we've made sure that the component works, but we have never made sure that we actually put the data somewhere in. So I think we've only made sure that we can see the component. So let me see. I think it was on the page home test. Just check. It does not show. It shows the register link. Oh, maybe then it was. Where else could it be? Okay, now I'm confused. So let's get back to our test here. So we have the page. Okay, so okay, we've done this on the dashboard page. Okay, what a pity. I might have to get back to the dashboard. So yeah, so we have made sure that we see the Livewire component here. So this means we were testing first the Livewire component itself. So when you set this property to this data and then call this method, then it does this. So we made sure that the component works. Then on the other side, I wanted to make sure that the component is on the page. So this way I can make sure, okay, the component is on the page, and then I have my own tests, what was testing the Livewire component. So this way I made sure that, yeah, this component is where I want it to be. But as you can see, all these tests are working without us having defined any blade file, any UI for the component itself. So I think now that's interesting. So how could we make sure or write a test that we can also fill in something? So first, what came to my mind is, of course, I can write a dusk test. So this means I can write a dusk test, make sure that if I'm logged in, if I go to the dashboard, if I put into the input field with the name this, that, and then click on the submit button, and then I see maybe something in the database or see it different on the page. So this way I could make sure that that a user actually sees some input fields to fill something in. So that's one way. What could be another way? A problem that I have with this task, it makes a little bit our component Livewire test obsolete, because we are then making an outside in test, putting this into this field, clicking this, and then I see this. So this would make sure that the user can put a code snippet into the database and then see something. Let me think, is there any other way? So yeah, so what I actually would want to do, something like this. Let's get back to our code snippet submit test. So what I would want to write, I don't think it's possible, but I want to show you what I mean is, it includes yeah, it doesn't matter. We have to delete it anyway because it's not working. But I would actually want to do something like this. So I would want to call my Livewire component like this. And then actually I don't need to test that if I click this and click that, because we know our component is working if we provide the fields. So maybe something like wired fields given and something like that. And then I put in an array with here, what is the name of my field? So we have name and content, and in the template it would be wire model name and content. So this means it actually would be cool if I could do. Oh, my laptop is so slow. Name and content, and now Livewire would check if it finds inside the Livewire plate file fields wired to my attributes. So the name, content, and then maybe also something for the button, maybe something like insert clickable, and then something like this. So this means I want to make sure that inside my Livewire view file, I see specific fields wired to specific properties. I think this would be my favorite opinions, my favorite solution here. What are your thoughts? Oh, Adrian is active here already. Let me check Adrian. Assert C Livewire. Yeah, so I've thought about this solution as well. Let me just bring it up here so that you can see it as well. So this means that I would write something. Assert C, and then probably wire model. I think something like this, but it probably would work, but I think it's not very convenient. Let me know, Adrian, if you mean this. So I think there could be a better solution. Let me see what else you wrote. Yeah, just add an assertion to see inputs here. Yeah, so I guess pretty similar to what the one before. Then there's also a macro I use to assert against DOM elements by selector. Yeah, so assert C Livewire is on a regular Laravel response. And what this means is that we, yeah, but we still would have our wire model something in. So I think it would still be possible to write an assertion that just checks if there is an input with a name and it's wired to a specific model. So I think this wouldn't be that complicated, right? Okay, but yeah, maybe I can discuss this with Adrian later, or maybe I'll try to come out with a new assertion for Livewire, but I think this would be my preferred way, but because just adding now Dask, another testing framework, just for this would be a little bit of overload for now. So yeah, let's try to make this work as it works now. So it includes, how do we call it? Fields. Okay, so what do we want to see here? think it's wire model, and then I think something like this. Maybe we need to change this on the go, but let's just start with this. Okay, we have our div, it's empty, and we don't see what we want to see. Okay, let's get to our template here. And it's empty, of course. So we want to add here. So it's about adding a new code snippet. So we need an input. And a model name. And that's actually it. Maybe let's also add a label. For name, and let's also add the ID here. Okay, what is this still complaining about? Missing association. I guess this might be just because my laptop is so slow. Ah, okay. Of course. Here we go. Okay. So does this already work? Okay, in the meantime, Adrian added the code snippet. Okay. How do I get this out of here? Let me see if I can copy this. Because from right here I can't get the code. That's pretty interesting. Let's just get it from the code itself. So okay, it's inside an iframe. Okay, this is not so easy to get. Let me just search in the DOM. Okay, here we have the gist. Yeah. Let's copy it and let's see what Adrian did in the meantime. DOM testing macros. So get selector content. Assert selector attribute equals. Assert selector attribute not equal. Super secret testing macros of Adrian. And then in your response, in your service provider, test response, mix in new test response, mix in test level, mix in. Okay, so let me just try to see what we're doing here. So I can then probably use one of those assertions if I understand it correctly. And I pass in selector. Okay, so this means like an ID or class, I guess, an attribute and expected. Okay, so this means then I could do something. Tell me if I'm correct, Adrian. But this would end up in something like insert selector equals attribute, something like this. And then I provide like an ID, like the name. Then the attribute is wire modern attribute, I guess. Then something like this. Let me know, Adrian, if this is how this would work then. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I think it's cool. So I think you're working on a lot of different projects where this probably makes a lot of things. I would still prefer if we could just write something like assert wired field or something like this. Because now when I look at these, it's for me it's not too much different. That yeah, of course, if you use this more often, then it makes probably sense to, because especially if you want to get something by a specific ID and name and you want to check some different fields. So yeah, okay, generally speaking, this is some good assertions, but I would really prefer something really specific with a really nice method name to just check my wired fields here. But I will give it another look later. Thank you, Adrian. Let me see. Have we already tested this now? Okay, so why is this not working? I think probably because of our escaped quotes. Oh, you still have this comment here. Let me hide this for you. Yeah, so this means this gets translated or escaped to this, but here, of course, it's not escaped. Is there anything I can do about this? Why is this getting escaped here? So, I mean, this should then work, of course. Okay, now Adrian said I have here a second parameter. I don't think so, Adrian, are you sure? Because he said that I should be able to do assert C and false. Give it a try. Yeah, I just wonder why it doesn't even fail here. Because since it seems this method doesn't even have a second parameter. Okay, I see. So this is the Livewire assert C, which is probably different from the Laravel assert C. Okay, yeah, so this means this doesn't work like this with the second parameter, of course. So it means on the way it gets escaped somehow. Yeah, I probably don't think there is anything I can do about that. Yeah, someone should PR this to Livewire so that I can use this. Okay, so what does this mean for us? So one thing I can do, of course, is to check on my dashboard page if I see those fields. So this means I'm pushing now those tests from my component to the actual page. So let's see if this makes more sense. So Yeah, so actually that's not what I want to do, because actually I don't care on which page I see those fields. I just want them to see where the component is. So this would be much more what I want to do. So this means, what else can I check to see? This means it also wouldn't work for, yeah, I can make sure I see the labels, of course. I can make sure I see some text, maybe some placeholders. Yeah, I'm not really satisfied here. Okay, so I could still go with the task test, but notice I don't want to introduce task here just for this. So maybe there is a better solution. Let me give it another thought. So we can test to make sure that we see that an input is wired to a specific property. Yeah, Gatchen is also asking why Livewire is escaping it. That's actually a good question. I don't have an idea. Okay, Adrian just said we also have assert C HTML. Okay, let's give this a try now. So let's just try to do with the exact input that we have. So we have the input with an ID of name, and wire model is also name. Something like this. Okay, let's see if this is working. Okay, this looks much better now. So input ID name, wire model name. Okay, it seems like we're not closing the import in our file here. Yeah, here we go. So okay, still not there yet. Input ID. So this part is the same. Okay, I see. Yeah, wire model is name, not model. Oh yeah, Gatian already saw it. Thank you. You were faster than me. Okay, but thanks, guys. This is now definitely the way I want to test this. I want to keep this in the component. I want to make sure that in the components view file, I see those fields, and if those fields are there, wired to a specific property, then it is for me sure that it should work. Okay, let's also do the same now. What else do we want to have? We want to have content field. I think this will be a text area. And name content. Probably like this. It will be easier, just copy it, put it in here. Yeah, I also need a label again. Okay, let's run this again. And now let's take a look what this looks like. Okay, we can't do this because right now we've been adding this only to the dashboard page, I guess. But I forgot what we did in the last time. Yeah, so we have our code snippet submit on our dashboard page. Let me think about this. Where do I want people to be able to create a new snippet? So I'm pretty sure I don't want it to be on the dashboard page, because what else would I want to show on the dashboard page? If you're not logged in, if you're a guest, you go on the side, you see a list of all the given code examples, and I guess probably at the top I already want to give you an option to add a specific code snippet. So yeah, that's what I go for. So what we're doing now is we're getting rid of our dashboard page. Do we have a test? No. Let's see where. Let's get rid of this here. And now in our homepage test. So are we sure we don't have a dashboard test? Oh, yeah, page dashboard. Okay. So let me copy this here. Let me see what else. It shows successful response for logged in users. Oh, just a successful response. Yeah, okay, we can get rid of this test here because I don't want to go with the with a dashboard for now. Okay, so this means back in our homepage test, make sure that we also see our Livewire component. Add this test here. It includes code snippet submit component. We changed the route to home. I think we don't have a route for that. I think we were just using the path. Okay, let's give it a try. Oh yeah, and this route does not exist. Let's rerun the test. Okay, cannot find the Livewire component. That's fine. So this means now on our homepage, I'm going to add here our Livewire code snippet submit component. Here we go. Yes, here we have it. So let's see if we can see it as well. Yeah, we need to go to the homepage. Okay, we see now something for name, something for content, but we don't have a button yet. So we need to make sure we test for this as well. Snippet submit test. This means I also want to check for so just bottom where click equals to submit, I guess. I think this already should be fine. Okay, it seems we haven't given our bottom a name. That's true. So it seems 6 people here, but only you two, Adrian and Gertjan, are active in supporting me, helping me out here. Thank you again for being here. And let's see if the test is still passing. Okay, it does. Okay, let's see if we can really add a new code snippet. Okay, of course, we don't see any changes here. Beganovic is here too. I need to add this here. Okay, let's try it again. Where do I see those requests here? Is this performing something? No, it's not. Okay, so there's 2 reasons for that. Probably the method name is wrong. So let's give this a look. Snippet. It actually is submit, so this should be working. Let's see what else could be wrong. Beganovic is asking to increase the zoom level. So you mean the code is not big enough? In browser. Okay, yeah, sure. Of course, I forgot about that. This is very easy in the browser, not so much in the IDE. Okay, it seems we can't submit this here. Okay, we have a submit method. Okay. So then let's go into our snippet. We have wire click. And we call the submit method. Okay, Adrian says maybe the submit is wrong here. Okay, let's try again. Let's refresh everything just to make sure. Let's fill in a name, test snippet. No requests going out. Okay, that's now interesting. I think I know what it is. Do you guys have an idea what it could be? I think I know that's interesting for our test cases. Why it's not working. Okay, font in the ID is good. Yeah, by the way, I've been using the presentation mode the last streams, but I always had troubles because a lot of IDE names like this here or here down there, those fonts were all cut out and looked terrible. And I now just changed the sizes inside the IDE, which is a little bit annoying because I have to change this back afterwards. But this way, it looks much better. So I think the problem is, let me see if anyone Yeah, Gatkin said he thinks I need the type buttons. I think the problem is I haven't added Livewire yet. So let me check my layout file. Yeah, so as you can see, no Livewire things in here. So I think we could have tried it quite for a long time without that. So this means inside our body, here at the end, we need to add our Livewire. Is it Livewire script? I think it should be. Adele, why is it not working? I'm not sure, I'm just checking it. Yes, it should be Livewire script. I'm not sure why it wasn't auto-completed so far for me. And I also need the styles. And let's put them inside the head. And let's refresh and try everything again. Okay, I still should see a request here. Okay, now a request is coming in. That's good. It returns a 200 response. Interesting. If Livewire still gets a 200 response back, yeah, probably, and just because it should show the error if I added some styles for that. So let's try it now out with the content. Okay, submit it. Okay, let's check our database first. We have Invoker. So I think we finally made it. Just 1 hour, 20 minutes in, and we finally made it to get one code snippet into the database. And that's cool. So this means if we now refresh it here, we should see it here as well. And here we do so. Glad we could work this out. See if there are any comments. Yeah, Etienne said I got Liverpool in my mind. That's why I'm making so many mistakes here. I always have Liverpool on my mind. So, but yeah, I do make a lot of mistakes while typing, but it gets even worse if the computer is slow because then you are too fast before the IDE can react. That's really annoying. Yeah, that's a good point. I definitely want to make sure that I have those scripts inside inside my tests. So let me see. Assert C window.livewire. So what is this referring to? Let me check how Livewire is bringing those styles and scripts in. So if I search C, did I see window.livewire? So I guess window.livewire is what I can use inside my console to check that level is given. Okay. But this means this is JavaScript now. How do you mean this, Adrian? How can I test this? Of course, I could check if I see the script name or something like this, but yeah, there must be something better. So I'm going to write some notes for me. So assert to see that the script's loaded, assert to see that styles are loaded, something like this very easy method names that everybody can use. I'm already losing a little bit my voice which is unfortunately because later on I'm doing a Clubhouse session. So you're all happily invited too if you want to join. So Livewire scripts renders a block. So what do you mean by block? So it renders this command, it renders the script. What do you mean by block? We'll show in the meantime what it does for scripts or for styles. Okay, that's not much. Oh, I need to look at the whole source code, okay. Here we go. Livewire. Okay, so this means if I make sure that I see this inside the script, I'm pretty sure that Livewire is loaded. Do I like this? It's just, yeah. I can see a point that probably makes sure but this means I could, for example, do the same, like just check if I see livewire.livewire.js. So just checking if there's a string there. So I think this would just same. So how and where do I want to test this? Yeah, okay, it's the same, like he said. So I have this in my layout file. So I probably could do this on the home page because I know the home page is being using the layout file. Is there somewhere else where I could test where this makes sense? Maybe I could. I think I also could write a component test. I think I could write a component test for the layout component just to make sure. So I think I saw this yesterday. Lower component test. Because of course, it's a little bit ugly if I'm now checking the home page and see if something is in there that is inside the layout component. Because yeah, the home page is just connected to the specific component. Where do we go here? Where was this? I think here. Yeah, here. Okay, so where was this? You may use the component method to evaluate and render a plate component. Yes, I think this is what I could use. I could provide my layout component. I don't need to pass in any data and then make sure that I see inside this component the scripts or styles for Livewire. Since it's connected to the layout component, I'm pretty sure I wanted to test it in combination here. So let me see. I see a few more comments. Yeah, that's funny because it's true. We're really talking about small things here. Since I started this project fully through TDD, I'm maybe too deep into testing everything that I can. But yeah, I think it's a good training for me to think about what to test, when to test, and to see if there are solutions, if they like them or not. So, but yeah, it's a good idea. So another comment, you could make a unit test that opens the layout file, source code, and test if you see Livewire scripts. Yeah. Okay, I think that's pretty similar to what to the component test that I just seen on the documentation. Oh, sorry again. This must be very small for you. So I was talking about this here. Yeah, can I get Adrian off the screen? That's a good question. He's always there. You can't get away of Adrian. It's not working. Yeah, and also Mr. Beganovic also asked if it's a little bit over engineering. And yeah, I'm here in the same team as Adrian. It's not like I'm providing here the best solutions to build this application. It's just I want to build it. I want to try out new things. I want to think of new concept. I want to try new things. And testing has been a big part of this project right from the beginning. So I really like to think about how far you can take it. And it doesn't mean you have to do it or that it provides a lot of value, but things I've started it like this. I want to see where it leads me. And since I've been running into this error now because we've been trying for some minutes to bring in some data to the database and it wasn't working, that's definitely a sign that you should write a test for it because you don't want to make sure that this never happens again. And I can think of a few or at least one scenario where this could be, because if I change the layout, if I have different layout files for this application, I could easily run into situations where I think I have Livewire enabled, but I ran into another test. And if I then ran into the same error again, then I'm going to bite myself in my butt because that's actually why I write those tests for. Of course, I can't write tests for things that I don't know, but for the things I know and for the things that I have already run into, it might be a good idea to write a test for it on the long run. All right. Yeah, I still get your point. So there are, of course, different ways to think of it. For me, it was also interesting to see if it's possible and how it's possible. So that's why I'm also using this for. It's not about efficient writing my application. It's about, those discussions here. I really enjoy discussing with you those things. Hear your inputs, provide my solutions, my opinions about it. And that's also why I'm doing it, because, this benefits me. So I think this would be. I just want to give this now a try because I haven't used this before, and I really like to try something new stuff and learn new things. And if this is really working as I expected, but of course, we are over engineering, especially for this simple application that I'm building. It's of course a little bit too much, but I also like that. Okay, let me see. Can we declare this as a unit test? Another thing to talk about maybe for the next 10 minutes before we do something. I guess it depends if we have this component functionality also in the unit tests. Let me give this a try. So let's generate a new unit test. And let's call it layout component test. Okay, let's get rid of this. It includes Livewire styles and scripts. Okay, so here we have my layout component. Don't need any data. And like that, I want to see what I'm using. I already see that this method is not known, so probably this won't work here. Okay, let me see. Do I have to do anything? If necessary, may use blade method to evaluate render raw blade string. Okay, out of my head, I'm currently not sure how the feature tests in Laravel are different, but I think they are. So let me just try this out. Maybe just here. It seems it knows the method now. Yeah, okay, that's fine. So let's get rid of that. This means let me just check to make sure what is different for a Livewire feature test. Is it a different test case class? Here we are extending. I think that's the PHP unit test case class. Okay, yeah, so feature tests are extending the Laravel test case class, PHP unit are not. Okay, so this means our test is not a unit test in these regards. Okay, so let's move this one up here. Okay. I think I can also move it with PHP Storm. Let me see. The file. Okay, here we go. And let's extend the test kit class, and let's get rid of this. Okay, now it looks much better. So let's run this again. I want to show what the component view, what it looks like. So what's the content of it? Okay. In our layout component, we have the slot variable. And this means I probably have to provide some kind of content. I'm not sure if it just works like this. Let's see. Okay, so this means this is an array with data. So correct me if I'm wrong. I might try it like this. Okay, how do I provide the slot here? Yeah, that's what I saw too, Adrian, but it seems this is not working. So probably I'm the first one trying this out here, so this could be fun too. So I'm probably, if I have a component without a slot variable, it probably would work. So try it out. Yeah, so now it gets loaded. If there's anything else I can do, so I have the class and I have some array of data. Let me see. So we're going to resolve the view. Let's see what this does. Where does this come from? So what do we get back here? I could use Ray for this, but I haven't installed it yet for this project. Maybe I'll do it for the next video. So let's see what we get back here. And run our test again. So what class is this? It's a view file. Okay. So what's the name of the method? It was resolve view. I'm really confused. It's too long live streaming for me already. Oh, come on, where did this come from? Okay, I don't want to bother you with this. Okay, let me check this again. What is this? If necessary, you may use the plate method here to evaluate and render a raw plate string. Okay, I'd assume that I get the same error if I try to do it like this, but it definitely should work like this. So yeah, I also thought you might get the layout class back, but it's a view file with the view. Okay, so let's get back to our list here. So we did the manual testing and we were able to, what did we do today? What did we really do today? That's a good point here. Not too much. It's called add off links. Test wired submit fields. Now currently we're trying to test layout component for Livewire scripts styles. Okay, we're already 1 hour, 42 minutes in. That's a good point. Just for the sake of testing, Adrian wants me to make it optional. Okay, let's do this as the last thing here. So if we don't have it, just provide nothing. And let's go back to our test. Okay, so this means we have now our Livewire styles. Of course, we can now discuss what kind of data we take, but well, that looks funny. But let's just start with the styles. Yeah, since Adrian came up with it, let's just take this for now. Here, want to make sure we see the scripts. And then also want to make sure we see the styles. So let's take something from the styles. I know this is not perfect, and I hope we can come up with something better. Let me just check it here again. Just for the sake of this test, let's use this string here. Okay, this should pass now. Okay, that's good. Let's just run all of our tests again to see if we messed up with anything else today. And yeah, we did. I think that's the last thing I want to do now. Hey, Stefan Bauer, you're a little bit late because we're already at the end, but nice to have you here around as well. Code snippet submit test. Here we go. So which one is failing? It includes while fields. Yeah, I think I might change something here. Let's check it out, which one it is. Yeah, I think we got rid of the submit here because we didn't need it. That. So I think this should make it work. Okay, perfect. Just one more try to see if everything is still passing. We have some skip tests here, which came from ChatStream. So if you use ChatStream, you will get those tests as well. Okay, let's wrap this up. What did we do? We wrote tests for the auth links and test layout component. And we were testing the Livewire submit component fields so that they are available. All right, so this was a little bit chaotic today because we ran into a few things where, yeah, also I didn't know how I would want to proceed more in a conceptual way. If I want to go this way, if I want to introduce task test or not. Mostly I try not to if I can do without. I think we ran into a few different interesting solutions and problems today. So it was really fun discussing them with you. Again, this is why I'm here for, because this helps me a lot and it was really interesting. And yeah, thanks for joining. Let me see if there are any more comments. Oh yeah, Stefan was texting me on Telegram and I didn't respond, so he thought I might be still on my live stream. So thank you, Stefan, for joining too, and hope to see you next time too. Thank you, Adrian, Getjen, and Mr. Beganowicz. Yeah, it was really nice again. And yeah, I think the next stream will be on Monday, and I'll try to update the list with some maybe a little bit more interesting things than just checking our auth links, but I'm pretty sure there will come up some interesting problems again. Okay, guys, thank you, and have a nice day, have a nice weekend, and see you the next time. Bye.